Okay, lesson 38. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. So we've got a sleeping baby here. Let's see. Very precious. And I've had a good day with this lesson. I thought it was extremely powerful. There's something really powerful for me. This whole holiness series is just incredible. I haven't used the term holiness, my holiness, very often, so I think it's really powerful for me, as it's kind of a novelty, or it's just a new word and it's working. So I've done a few of the longer practice periods, and I've definitely used it throughout the day in the way they suggest. So the full practice periods are 5 minutes. Repeat the idea, close your eyes, and I love these ones. Search your mind for any source of pain, sorrow, a sense of loss, or unhappiness of any kind as you see it. Try to make as little distinction as possible between a situation that is difficult for you and one that is difficult for someone else. Identify the situation specifically and name the person concerned. Use this form, and it says, in this situation involving blank, in which I see myself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. So I had so many things to enter into that sentence, from simple things like, in this situation involving, how to manage Justine's hair, there's nothing my holiness cannot do. And then in the situation involving, actually, I applied this when I was facilitating a call, because there was just a moment in facilitation a couple times. I felt judged on the other side, which we know it's one way, but that was my experience. I felt a judgment coming toward me. So I literally repeated this to myself quickly, and it was really helpful, again, to have something in my pocket to keep me at ease. And I had one come up repeatedly, which shows me it's a concerning area of my life. But just let it come up every time I thought of it. So I think the second paragraph of the lesson was just so powerful and my favorite. And it says, your holiness then can remove all pain. It can end all sorrow and can solve all problems. It can do so in connection with yourself and with anyone else, which I thought was interesting. Oh, because it says, what ended up truthfully happening is I read the next lesson, which was long, and then realized I hadn't done one before. So it was one of those mix-ups. And so what came to mind is for tomorrow. So I'll keep that for tomorrow. So my holiness can solve all problems. And there was this interesting thing that happened when I practiced, because there were a couple times I felt like I was thinking with the ego. I'll give you an example. So I'm driving in the car. My husband wanted to do a couple errands, and it was like right before the Super Bowl, which it's halftime of the Super Bowl right now. And never before in years have I come and done a Course in Miracles video instead of watching Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, but this is good. This is priorities. So I decided to go with him, get something easy for dinner, because that's how the day just was like, am I really going to roast red peppers right now and try to make a soup from scratch? It's 6 o'clock. I guess we're doing the Super Bowl. So we go, Justine and I get in the car with him. He's with her in the back. And I asked if he could put her hood up because it was cold. You know, her hair does the trick, but she had a hooded sweatshirt on and a hooded jacket. And I asked him to put like that inner hood up for like a hat because we left in a rush. And he did nothing. So I was like, And I could see all the ways I used to respond, but I had this lesson. So I was like, okay, there's nothing my holiness cannot do. And then I felt into it because a couple times it feels like I've met his ego strong and Justine's or whatever. So I asked again, and he's like, why? It's in the car. Doesn't matter. And again, I'm like, dang, okay, what do I do? It's just a simple thing, but like, what would Jesus do? When someone isn't like listening to you, it seems. And I said, and so he asked me like, what is it? Why? She's in the car. And I just said, it keeps in her body heat. And then I let it go. Because he like pulled it out from under her jacket, but didn't put it over her hair. So I was like, huh. So I just let it go. And then on the way back from the store, he put it on her. And I'm like, okay, this isn't about him doing what I want him to do. It's just about in those moments where it seems like you're losing or there's ego somewhere. It's so helpful to be like, this lesson really helped me pause. And it doesn't mean my holiness made him listen to me, but it was more like, I don't know, I just wanted to kind of put on my holiness and just let everything else be and be like, okay, I said my part. That was my thought. Whatever he does with it. And then when I had a moment during the day, I actually did it twice, I remember, in a practice, like in a situation involving my ego wanting blah, blah, blah. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. So I observed my own judgments and then said my holiness can overcome my ego. It's very interesting. I don't know if that's cheating, but that's really what happened to me. I feel like there was one other thing, but yeah. And the last, the first paragraph as well is, your holiness is totally unlimited in its power because it establishes you as a son of God, at one with the mind of his creator. Through your holiness, the power of God is made manifest. Through your holiness, the power of God is made available. And there's nothing the power of God cannot do. So I've decided for my contract for the year, I'm going to start with this. I let myself evolve if there's something more powerful that occurs to me. But to make my aspiration for my life to embody and share my holiness. I don't know the words yet. But this is, and to envelop everything in my holiness. I love that one. So I can't wait for tomorrow because it's a good one, but I really enjoyed this and I acknowledge your holiness and mine. And let's go do this. Power of God is within us. You're rocking it. Thank you.